positive. Yeah, this is my reaction rant to The Flash Season 2, Episode 23, titled The Race of His Life, which is by far... let me rephrase that. The Flash Season 2, Episode 23, titled The Race of His Life. And this is the episode that is the season finale of Season 2! Yay! The season finale of Flash Season 2. Okay. Seems like a long time since we actually reached the season finale to one of the Berlantiverse comic shows. With the exception of Supergirl, because that is technically part of the Berlantiverse, but I'm talking about Berlantiverse that's on the CW. As you all know, the entire season 1 of Supergirl was on CBS. It is now on CW for season 2. And I'm not counting Legends of Tomorrow yet, because that is still, like, to me, brand spanking new, like Supergirl. I'm talking about the original duo of the Berlantiverse, which is on the CW, which is Arrow and Flash. It's been so long since a season finale. I feel like it's like foreign on my tongue when I say this is the season finale of Flash. But anyway, let's get to it. They have the funeral to Barry's dad, Henry Allen. R.I.P. Henry Allen. Mwah. Zoom comes to Barry and demands a race to determine who is faster, which is kind of stupid if you think about it. It's like, you're a villain. Villains more than likely want to either stop the hero or completely kill the hero if they're psychopathic villains, right? The fact that he just goes to Barry and says, I want to race you to determine if I'm faster than you or not. Not much of a villain when it comes to the hero anyway, but he didn't threaten Barry, but he did threaten to kill everyone else that Barry loves if he refuses to race him. Because Zoom has already killed Barry's father, so he's like, if you don't race me, I'm gonna kill everyone else you love. So yeah, that's kind of like a typical hero, but the fact that he wants just to race him to determine who's faster kind of knocks him down the villain peg just a little bit. The fact that he threatened to kill everyone else Barry loves kind of put him back up there, but not that much. He's like in between right now. But anyway, in between as to horrible, crazy, badass villain to villain. But anyway, Wells apparently realizes that Zoom stole something from Mercury Labs. Apparently it's called like a Magnetar or something like that. Sounds like a Pokemon. It sounds like Magnetar. But what was that one Pokemon's name already? Oh my god, this is horrible. But not gonna lie to you, the device that Zoom stole from Mercury Labs kinda sounds like a Pokemon name. But anyway, apparently this thing that Zoom stole from Mercury Labs, the Magnetar or something like that, will allow him to destroy every world in the multiverse if him and Barry can create enough energy from their race to power the device. So basically, the item can destroy any world in the multiverse, but it needs to get enough energy to charge power for the device. And in order to charge power, Barry and Zoom, right? So Barry and Zoom are practically the conductors, if you think about it. And it pretty much shows the vibe that Cisco had in the last episode. Remember in the end they're all like having a party. This is before Henry got killed, right? And Cisco ends up having a vibe. He's been having vibes in the last episode, multiple ones where he's seeing like dead birds and shit, like you know, remember that? But like in the final vibe, he's like, oh, the dead birds again. But the moment he turns around, he sees Earth 2 and it's like being destroyed and shit, right? So this is probably what he vibed. That actual device actually destroying Earth 2. But anyway, because Zoom threatened to kill the rest of Barry's loved ones, Barry refuses to back out of this race. And so to stop him, you know, 1, to save Barry, and 2, to save the multiverse, the team locks Barry in a containment cell in the particle accelerator for his own protection, and also so the fact that he won't race henceforth won't be able to be enough to charge the device, and will not power up the device and kill the multiverse. Ha! Problem solved, right? while he's locked up, the team develops a plan to try to push Zoom back into Earth 2 so they don't have to deal with him, right? And so they use, I think, not really bait. Caitlin volunteered to pretty much be bait to kind of, talk Zoom down and try to distract him while Harry and Joe are, like, around the premises getting ready to take him down while, Iris and Jessie are in a van safe and sound nearby. And while they distract him, they manage to send him back to Earth 2, but unfortunately, as they're sending him through the breach, he gets a hold of Joe and pulls Joe with him back to Earth 2. And it's like, fuck you! Right? And during all that, Wally ends up there in Star Labs and finds out that Zoom has taken Joe back to Earth 2. And he also finds out that they trapped Barry in the containment cell. Well, I don't think he found out that they trapped Barry, but he found out that they kept Barry away from this little plan of theirs. And he's like, what the hell? I already lost my mom. I'm not gonna lose my dad. And he's all mad and shit like that. I really don't blame him, because it is true he did just lose his mother, right? And he witnessed Barry's dad get kidnapped, and he was there at the funeral of Henry Allen. He saw Barry lose his own father. Like, Wally lost his own mother. He found out about Barry's mother being murdered and all that stuff. He saw Barry's father get kidnapped, and he ended up going to Barry's father's funeral because he finds out he's dead. And now he finds out his own father's been pulled in by Zoom into Earth 2, the very man that killed Barry's father, right? So I don't blame him for being pissed off. I'd be like, my father is in the clutches of the man who killed Barry's father. What the hell, guys? Barry can help out here. He's the only one with superpowers, with the exception of Cisco, of course, but just saying, I don't blame Wally for being pissed. But anyway, on Earth 2, Zoom has Joe prisoner, and he actually reveals to Joe that the man in the mask, this is what we've been all waiting for, okay? A lot of people called this, I called this too. I had a feeling that the man in the mask was a certain guy. Turns out I was right, because Zoom reveals to Joe that the man in the iron mask, trapped in his little cage, well, not really cage, but he's trapped, happens to be the actual real Jay Garrick, and that Hunter Zolomon Zoom kidnapped him and put a mask on him and assumed his identity as Jay Garrick, aka the Flash. So technically, the guy in the Iron Mask is the real Jay Garrick, the real Flash, and basically Hunter Zolomon stole his look and stole his identity, everything, and pretended to be him as a hero. And Wally, who's frustrated, which I don't blame him, that, the rest of the team kept Barry away from stopping Zoom and attempted to stop Zoom on their own without Barry, and had Joe kidnapped by Zoom, that he actually manages to release Barry from the particle accelerator and said, help rescue Joe. And Barry agrees to race Zoom only if he returns Joe unharmed, right? So he plans to communicate with Zoom somehow to tell him this plan. So he asks Cisco to vibe him, right? So Barry goes with Cisco to the vibe and pretty much tells Zoom, I'll race you only if you return Joe unharmed. And as Barry and Zoom begin their race, the Magnetar begins to charge, right? And we see everyone there, right? You see Iris, Wally, Caitlin, Cisco, Harry, Jessie. Did I miss anybody? And of course Joe's still kind of tied up at the moment. But he's there on Earth 1, thankfully. And as they're racing, Barry manages to create a time remnant of himself, which I didn't think that was possible with Barry. I didn't know Barry could do that, but apparently Barry manages to create a time remnant of himself. So you see Barry's time remnant, and Zoom going around and around on the Magnetar, charging it. And when he creates his time remnant, he pretty much knocks Zoom out of the Magnetar and starts beating the crap out of him. And Zoom was pretty surprised that Barry created a time remnant, because remember, Zoom did that first. Remember when he created that time remnant to kind of look like good Jay Garrick the Flash? Yeah. So he's kind of surprised that happened, but unfortunately the Magnetar is fully charged while Barry's fighting Zoom. So the time remnant actually gives up his own life to stop the Magnetar, and at that time Barry manages to knock out Zoom out cold. He has his hand vibrating. It looks like he's gonna kill Zoom, but then he backs out because while he's thinking about it, 2 time wraiths come out from a time portal thing and come at them, and he's like, you know what? I don't have to kill you. The time remnants are here to take your ass away. So like as the 2 time remnants take Zoom away, I noticed something very interesting. When they're like surrounding him and shit, going around him like Dementors, right? Zoom's face, because a part of his mask came off, right? And you see a part of his face. His face becomes all grotesque and shit, kind of like zombie-looking face. And then I noticed that his blue lightning, while his face is all turning grotesque, his blue lightning turns red, right? His lightning turned red. The lightning bolts on his mask near the ear part turns red, and then the symbol on his chest, the circle turns white, and the lightning bolt turned red. And his outfit turned more red-ish, except for, well, blackish. Black and red, basically, right? And, kind of looked like, Black Flash. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but look in the comments. Not comments, look in the comics. Sorry, not comments. I will probably have a video on more about him, but this is my reaction to the entire episode. I will have thoughts and theories everywhere about that, okay? But it kind of looked like Zoom turned into Black Flash when the time wraiths picked him up. But anyway, the battle's over. They defeated Zoom. He got taken away by the time wraiths. The Barry's time remnant gave up his life to stop the Magnetar, pretty much saving the multiverse. So yay, team! It seemed kind of a boring end fight. Not gonna lie to you. It didn't seem raw like the first season finale. I'm just saying. But anyway, while they're removing the mask off of Jay Garrick, which is Harry and Cisco are removing the mask, the true Jay Garrick, the real Jay Garrick, is revealed to be. This is what I thought was interesting, because I didn't call this at all. I totally called that the man in the mask was going to be Jay Garrick, but I had no idea that the real Jay Garrick was Henry Allen's doppelganger. Because when they removed the mask, there he is, Henry Allen, doppelganger, just with more gruff, because he had like a beard and shit. Because, of course, he's been taken for a long time. But yeah, the real Jay Garrick, who was the man in the mask, is actually revealed to be Henry Allen's doppelganger, which, of course, distresses Barry, because he just buried his dad. And here is his doppelganger right there the whole time, right? And, we see that, the real Jay Garrick, he's all nice and shaven, and he's in his cool Flash outfit. That Flash outfit is badass, guys. And, he reveals, Zoom took all my name and everything, but that helmet is not mine, but he decides to take it anyways, because Harry said that the helmet on his Earth symbolized hope, right? So he's like, you know what? Since Zoom took everything from me, I'm going to take something of his and make it my own. So he ends up wearing the helmet, which is pretty cool. And he's like, I need to get back home, and he reveals that he's not from Earth 2, he's actually from Earth 3. So he says he has to get home, so Harry's like, you know what, my daughter and I can help you with that. We are going to go back to Earth, my daughter and I are going to go back home to Earth 2, we're going to bring you with us, and we're going to help you get back to Earth 3. And, so that happens, they end up returning to Earth 2, Jessie and, her father, Harry, and they take Jay with him so he could get to Earth 3. Something amazingly crazy that happens, because Barry's still heartbroken about everything. He finally gets that kiss with Iris, but Barry does the unthinkable. He travels back in time and manages to, this time he stops the Reverse Flash from killing his mother. I'm running out of time, and I will talk about it in my theory videos, but that is what basically happened in this episode, The Race of His Life. This is my reaction rant to the season finale of Flash Season 2, guys! The Race of His Life. Bye, BooTube. Nah.